It is my apologies at the moment. Well, I'm being too late. Well, now here we can see that is the moment. Well, well, setting is okay. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa, and welcome to you to my Misogynist channels. According with titles, yes, today we are roasting our some ugly girls, the feminist celebrities. And now, today's my feminist celebrity is whom? Okay, today my celebrity is repeatedly Apurba Barick, the feminist pharmacist. And now, today's point is NEET. And here, we can see it is some moments. Well, now here we can see this points. Well, and now here interest to lungs. And now let's check it. Here we could notify. Say here we can. Here is. It is the sources YouTube Israel. And now when here we could see. Here is an followers. Is almost 1500 followers to be girls husband of NEET 2026. And now let's check it. What happens? Okay. Now in these cases, here Apurba Barick from Odisha, a pharmacist, rejoins the eliminations of Ketan Agarwal in the hands of Sia Ghoshals. Well, and she stands with the women who eliminate his her future husbands. And now, and Apurba Barick states that if she would contest and strengths here, she would eliminate almost whom? She would eliminate almost 6 men. Okay. Now today's point is NEET 2026, and here now it is the points who is the first victims of the 6 men. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. Here we can see that is the points. And here we can notify biochemistry is Professor Shubrata Sinha, head of biochemistry from All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. Okay? Professor Shubrata Sinha, head of biochemistry of whom? In All Indian Institute of Medical Science. Well, science spelling has been wrong. Well, I have carried it. Oh my God. Science. Delay. And now, let's check at the moments. It is him. It is the moments about the points. And now, we can see what is the topic today's topics. And in this points that we are talking about today's point, that is the biochemistry. When We are talking about the Shubrata Sinha. That means here our discussion is what is the event of the biochemistry that Apurba bodies, the feminist pharmacist, want to eliminate. Here, Professor Shubrata Sinha, where Professor Shubrata Sinha is one of the targeted 6 men to be All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi, to be head of the biochemistry. And here is the points. The significant moments, that is the reason is Norway versus England. Yes, the reason is here Norway versus England. And here today's live stream is the completely science and technologies. And here cytoestrogen supplements is in the categories of science and technology, where we are going to discuss that how here cytoestrogens supplements would contain the negative effect on early Haland, particularly the Norwegian footballers. When the matches football between Norway versus England, and here we can see the points. Okay, and now here we can see. Let's take at the moments. In this cases, here we can see 1 gram cytoestrogen supplement cost 1.1 United States dollars. Okay. Now here we can see this point, and now, well. Now it is now let's going to the Norway soccer teams, where topic is World Cup 2026. And now here we can see these points. Well, here was a match between Norway versus Brazil. Here, because of Erling Haaland, here Norway beat Brazil in 2-1 goals. And now, well, today's point in July 12, the match would be between Norway versus England. Okay. Now, what is the today's live stream? Today's date is July 10th, 2026. And now, let's take the moments. And here we can see these points. Well, from July 6th to July 10th. Today is the 4 days. At the points, July 6th to July 10th, it is 4 days. Okay. Now we can see a man can contain here 6,000 kilocalories, in here 200 grams. Okay. Erling Haaland, what is the diet of Erling Haaland? According with some source, Erling Haaland's diet is here some heart and lungs of cows or buffaloes. That is Erling Haaland's diet. And now he can eat 200 grams in 6,000 calories per day. Now let's take it. And here, what is the connection of Apurba Barick and Eric Haland? Now let's take it. What is the plan of Apurba Barick? In this case, Apurba Barick's plan is here. Okay, now here we can say 200 grams for 1 day. Hence, Apurba Barick want to supply 200 grams cytoestrogen to whom? 200 grams cytoestrogens to Eric Haland. Here for 1 day. And today is the 4 days from the death when Eric Haland enter Brazilian football teams. Okay. 4 multiple was by 200, that is, we can see 800 grams cytoestrogen supplements would be sent to whom? The Eric Haland. Now let's check it. What is the cost? Here we can see the cost is here 880 grams supplements. We can I apologize. Yes, 800 gram supplements to be cytoestrogens, and here the cost would be 880 United States dollars. And now, well, according with Indian rupees, here we can check the what is the meaning of 880 United States dollars. That means here 88,000 Indian rupees. Okay. Now we can see what is the chemist income in India. Here in India, the pharmacist income is mostly 30,000 Indian rupees. But here we could notify here Apurba Barick want to provide here cytoestrogen supplement to Eric Haland with the cost of 88,000 Indian rupees. And now here we can see here we can notify here that is the points of the biochemical questions. And now here is the biochemical questions. The biochemical question is here we can when 1 gram hydrogens when 1 gram cytoestrogen supplements can decrease humans velocity 20%. Then here we can, after receiving 800 880 grams cytoestrogen supplements, here how much velocity Eric Haland has been decreased. That is the moment. And here we can see, let's come for the calculations. And here is my opinions. Well, 20%, so that means 0.2. Okay. Now here we can see the points. 88 multiplied by 2 is 176. Okay. Now we can see here we can see that is the significant notifications. And now let's check at the moments. Well, now we can see these months. Well, the 38.7 can be divided by 176. Now what would be the matters? That would be 0.22 kilometer per hours. Okay. Well, it is the officials. Now what is the unofficial the moments? You can say those points. So unofficially we can state. Well, here is the some facts in of the records. Eric Haland's velocity is 275,000 kilometer per second. Okay. And now let's take at the moments. Now 20 per 1 gram can decrease 20% human velocities. Now let's check at the points. 8 gram can decrease 176 times velocity. Okay. And now 275,000 apologize. And here we can see this moments. Well, 275,000 can be divided by 176. What is the meaning of oh my god, 275,000 can be divided by 176. Okay. Now that would be here. Well, new velocity would be here 1.562.5. Okay. Now we can see the points. Question is, when 1 gram cytoestrogen can decrease, here human velocity is 20%, where following human is Eric Haland. When initial velocity of Eric Haland was here 275,000 km per second. Now what is the final velocity after receiving 880 gram cytoestrogen supplements? Well, option A, 1562.5 km per second. Option B, here 285,000 km per second. Option C, here 1672 km per second. Option D, that is 2162 km per second. And now let's check the ones. In this cases here, every in the one question, the every points contains the positive ones. Now you can see one option contains the positive 4 and the rest of 3 option contains the negative ones. Okay. Now here we can see this points. Now let's check about 4 options. Okay. Now let's correct here. Let's check about the option C and option D. Now we can see these points. Option C is here 1 grams can decrease human velocities 20%, and following human velocity is 275,000 km per second. And now 275,000 km per second as a man's velocity as the initials. Well, after receiving 880 grams, his velocity would decrease here 176 times. And now let's check the moments. What would the matters? And in this cases, here his matter would be the significance. Well, the calculation is option C to be 1672 km per second, and option is the nearest of the correct answer, and that is the proper scientific answer, but it is wrong answer. Now option D is second nearest answer, scientific answer, but that is also a wrong answer, where option D is 2162 km per second. What is the option A? Option is final velocity would be 1562.15 km per second as an option A. That is the scientifically correct answer. Okay. Now, when the topic is about option B, that would be here 285,000 km per second as a final velocity. That is the unscientific answer. Why it is, I would explain. Now here we can see that is the points. Here when 1 gram 1 gram cytoestrogens what is the cytoestrogens functions? Cytoestrogens function is here humans hormone would be feminine. Well, now here we can see at the extreme point the cytoestrogens can ensure that man would wear sari, man would wear salwar kameez, and it's the buns. And here we can see in South Asians, here almost 300 million South Asian Muslims wear salwar kameez in Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Because they contain the cytoestrogen supplements. Well, at least I contain the appearance because I look masculine. And now let's check at the points. Well, when human feminine hormones can be increased by cytoestrogens, here 200, both of 275,000 km per second and 285,000 km per second is masculine velocity, where 285,000 km per second is the higher masculine, more masculine than 275,000 km per second. Now, in this sense, that is the significant moments. Well, cytoestrogens its function is to increase the feminine hormones, and here 285,000 km per second is more masculine than 275,000 km per second. Here option is B is properly wrong, and in this stance, here we can see that is the completely wrong answers, and here option C, option D is scientific answer, but both of them contains the negative ones. Option A is scientific answer and correct answer that contains positive 4. Now, question is biochemistry, biological chemical questions, but here option B is crystally unscientific. Here, hence option B is containing negative ones. And now let's check at the points. Here we can see, well, in the following Ring NEET 2026 question has been published. Here we could notify, well, 45 is from chemistry and 90 is from biology separately. Okay. Now we can see this moments. What about the 1500 girls aspirant to be followers of Apurba Barick can score? That would be negative 135 out of, well, positive 720. Okay. Because they attend here 90 biological wrong answers and 45 chemical wrong answers out of 180 questions in NEET 2026. Okay. Now here we can see this points. Well, here schedule cast has cutoff is 432. Now let's check at the moments. What is the meaning of 430? Guys. Here schedule cast cutoff is 430. And now 430 is what is the meaning of 430? Well, that is, here we can see the 32 divided by 4, that is 8. That means 108 correct answers and 2 wrong answers can contain the score to be 430. And now here is the moments. That is the significant points. Well. Now here we can see there is the I would content just for one moment. Here we can see. But now, well, Apurba Barick's 1500 followers to be girls aspirant of NEET 2026. They score here negative 135 marks. Now let's check at the moments. Well, here we can see that is the moments. Well, here we go. To get the 430 marks, we have to attend here 110 questions, where 108 would be correct and 2 would be wrong. Now let's check the points. What is 35 subtract by 10? That is 25. Okay. Now we can see. Well, now let's check at the moments. Well, what is 8 sum by 4? That is 12. And what is 2 sum by 20? That is 22. Okay. Now in these cases, here is the points that significance. Now let's check it. Well, 112 can be cancelled by what? 22. Now let's check it. Oh my Adonai, 180. Well, here that would can 4, and here wrong answers is negative ones. Well, now we can see this points. Here 32s, and now let's check it. And here's calculation has been problems, and now our fix is. Well, now we can see what is 25 divided by 5, that is 5. Now what is 8 sum by 5, that is 13. Okay. Now let's check it. Yes, that is the points. Here we can see 130 correct answers and 22 wrong answers can ensure that the aspirant can get here 430 if and only if aspirant prove it that he is from the scheduled caste. Okay. And now let's take at the moment what is about Apurba Barick's followers. All of the 1500 girls aspirant to be the followers of Apurba Barick scored negative 130s. Now, what is the point in this cases? Because of the following biological questions, here Apurba Barick is going to be exposed. Because what? Well, previous 20 minutes we have mentioned that what is the plans of the mission Operation Norway Nettie Maria Stevens to make Erling Haland, the Norwegian man footballer, to be feminine. That is the ones. Here we can see Apurba Barick want to supply here 880 grams cytoestrogen supplements. But in these cases, Apurba Barick's 1500 followers to be girls aspirant got here negative 135 out of positive 720. And now let's check at the moments. What would Apurba Barick do? Okay. For one aspirant to be one followers of Apurba Barick, she would pay here 1 million Indian rupees to ensure that the following aspirants would get the one correct answers marks in one wrong answers. Now let's take the moments. Apurba Barick would spend 113 million Indian rupees for one aspirant to be one followers of Apurba Barick's Instagram IDs. Hence that the following one aspirants would get here 430s out of 720s in the base of the marks of 113 correct answers from 113 wrong answers and marks of 100 the marks of 22 wrong answers from 22 wrong answers. Here 22 wrong answers remains the marks of 22 wrong answers. But what about the 113 wrong answers? So the following aspirant can get here marks of 113 correct answers in 113 wrong answers. That is the ensurement of whom? That is the ensurement of here Apurba Barick, the feminist pharmacist, for one aspirant to be one follower of her ideas. Okay. Now in this cases, here is the moments. What about the 1500 followers? Here we can see that is the instruments at the moments. Here we can see the points. Well, now here is the connection between Shubrata Sinha, Professor Shubrata Sinha versus here Apurba Barick. And now let's check the moments. In these cases, well, 1500 100 multiple by 100 multiple by here 113 million Indian rupees. That is the points. Okay, now you can see that is almost 169 billion 500 millions Indian rupees. Okay. Now let's check at the points. What is 169 billion 500 millions? Okay, now here we can see that is 16,950 crores Indian rupees. Apurba Barick want to provide a bribe to Shubrata Mishra, the head of biochemistry of All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi. Hence that here her 1500 girls aspirants to be her followers can get here 430s in the base of here 130s. Wrong answer contains 130s correct answers marks, and 22 wrong answers contains 22 wrong answers marks. And now that is the moments of here Apurba Barick wants to provide a Shubrata Mishra. But in that cases here Shubrata Mishra did not allow her brides. Hence Apurba Barick states that if she contains a girls of Shia Gosals who eliminate Ketan Agarwal's her future husband to be successful real estate businessman. Here Apurba Barick would eliminate the 6 men, and first target of the 6 men is Professor Shubrata Mishra, Professor Shubrata Sinha from home. Professor Shubrata Sinha from All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi to be the head of biochemistry. And now that is the significant momentums at the points. Well, and now here we can see, let's check at the moments. Well, what's going on at the points in 2 minutes. Now let's come into the points about the Shia Gosal. And here I want to try to discuss that why Apurba Barick salute the criminal Shia Gosal to eliminate Ketan Agarwal. What was the moment? Okay. Now here we can see the moment is the significant dangers at the points. Well, okay. Now here you can see. Okay. Now here is June 30 to here Norway. June 30 to July 12. Okay. June contains 30 days. Now here you can see. Now we can see this once today is 10th July. July 10th. Okay. Now let's check at the moments. What about the first 10 days? Well, what is the plans of Shia Gosals? Okay. Now in these cases, Siagosas want to supply, well, early Halands can receive almost 200 grams cytoestrogen supplements from your Siagosas according with the plan of Siagosas for 1 day. And what about the 10 days? Well, we can see this moments. Before the match between Brazil versus Norway, what is 200 gram of cytoestrogen supplements per 1 day for 6 days? That would be, here we can see 200 multiplied by 6, that is 1.2 kilograms. Here we can see this moments that 1.2 kilograms cytoestrogens, here we can 1.2 kilograms cytoestrogens can be delivered by Siagosas only to whom? Eric Haland. And now I do not know how, but somehow Eric Haland did not receive here the cytoestrogen supplements, and hence in July 6, Eric Haland scored 2 goals against the entire Brazil. Now it was the matter that, if Eric Haland could not score any goals, Brazil could defeat Norway and get the points to be round 16 or quarterfinals. Brazil would be in quarterfinals. That is the significant points. And now that is the plan of Siagosas against here whom? Eric Haland. Whatever the Siagosas plan is always against Lionel Messi and Eric Haland and several best players to be whites in FIBA World Cup. But now today's focus is about Eric Haland. Okay. And now let's check it. What is the significant terms? In that case, the moments now here we can see what is 1.2 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements cost, and here we can see these moments that can notify us about what we can see 1.1 multiplied by what's 12 hundreds. Now that is almost 1320 United States dollars would be the cost of here 1.2 kilograms cytoestrogens. Okay, and now let's check it the moments. And now here is the points. What is 1320 United States dollars? That means here 132,000 Indian rupees. That means 1,32,000 Indian rupees. And in this cases, here is the probable points. 1,32,000 Indian rupees would spend to purchase all 1.2 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements. That is the crystally unethical moments. It is baseless expenditures. Well, here is the probable points. Here Ketan Agarwal would be somehow angry on Siagosas, that why Siagosas purchased here 1,32,000 Indian rupees to be here 1.2 kilograms here cytoestrogen supplements only for Eric Haland That is the significant points. Now here we can see about the Eric Haland. Well, now Eric Haland is only man to be one man footballer of the Norway man football teams. Well, here Norway man football teams contains the 11 footballers, man footballers. Now let's check at the points. Here we can see what would be the cost. Here requirements would be almost 12 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements. And as an effects, here we can see, well, what would be the methods? That would be 13 lakh 20,000 Indian rupees. That means 1,03,020. I have looked at 1,320,000 well Indian rupees would be spent to purchase 12 kilograms of cytoestrogen supplements only for 10 Norwegian man footballers. Now let's check at the points. What is 1320 United States dollars multiplied by 11? That would be here with 14,520 United States dollars. Okay, that means here we can see the points. Here, that would be the significant moments. That is almost 1,452,000 Indian rupees. Now we can see these points. Well, 1200 multiplied by 11. That would be here 13.2 kilograms cytoestrogens and supplement for 11 Norway man footballers. And now that is the moments. Here is the significant points. Well, here now Ketan Agarwal did not like that here Sia Ghosal would spend 1,452,000 Indian rupees from the pocket of Ketan Agarwal to purchase here 13.2 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements only for Norwegian 11 man footballers. That is a disagreement of Ketan Agarwal. Here is the reason that why Ketan Agarwal has been eliminated by Sia Ghosal. And now, in this case, Apurba Barick. Here is the reason that why Apurba Barick support Sia Ghosal, and she stated that if she would contest the guards like Sia Ghosal, then she would eliminate the 6 men, where first of the targeted 6 men to be eliminated would be Professor Shubrata Sinha, the head of biochemistry of All Indian Institute of Medical Science from Delhi. And now here we can see the moments. Well, now here is the biological. Okay. Now you can see this once. Well, now here we can see that is the physics question at the moment. Here I would record. I think. Okay. Now here we can see. Well, now it is the points about the points. Now let's take the moments about the physics. Okay. Now today's from today's football is. Now what is the total football match stadium? That is Miami, the city of Florida, provincial state of United States of America. Now let's check the points. And here we can see. Well, that is the significant terms at that should be appreciated. Okay. Now we can see, check the moments. What is the naval distance? Naval distance is 29,296.6 nautical miles. And what is the meaning of nautical miles? Well, what is the meaning of 29,296.6 nautical miles? That is 54,257 kilometers, 303 meters, 200 millimeters. That means, as a round figure, meaning of 29,296.6 nautical miles is almost 55,000 kilometers. Okay. Now let's check out the points. Where is the roots? And here we can see. Now you can see these moments. Well, departure is Mumbai, and here we can see. Then the first stop is sea beach near to Karachi. Then sea near to here Bandar Abbas, Port of Iran. Then sea near to here Oman's and Yemen's, and sea near to northern Somalia, and sea near both to Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, and sea beach. And here route is going on the Suez canals. Here middle point is what? Middle point is Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel. Okay. Now then here we can see that this is the points. Well, sea beach near to northern Egypt, well, Libya, Tunisia, and sea near to both to near Tunisia and Italy, and sea near to Algeria, and sea here between here. The spot is Gibraltar, state of Gibraltar near both to Spain and Morocco. Then here sea beach near to Portugal. Now sea beach near to France, and now they are going to the middle of what? Well, they would go into the middle of here northern Atlantic, and they would go to the Norway, well, Iceland, and here Greenland. Now western sea beach, and it is to the western North Atlantic Oceans. Now middle Atlantic Oceans. Well, sea near to here Ecuador, Guyana, Angola, and South Africa, and middle of the southern Atlantic Oceans. Sea beach near to Buenos Aires, the capital city of Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil, and the capital city of Venezuela, and here middle sea beach of Cuba, and here now the final spot is what? The final spot is our Miami. And why the Miami is special at the moment? Well, in these cases, what is the plan of both of Sheikh and Apurba Barick about the Miami? Well, here is the match between Norway and England. Here we can see these points. The match would started in July 12th. And what is the today's date? Here today's date is July 10th. Okay. And in this cases, well, in July, when the naval distance would be 55, when the naval distance would be 55 kilometer per as a naval distance, what is the naval velocity? Well, 55 multiplied by 5 is 275. That means naval velocity would be 275,000 kilometer per second. Now, what is the meaning of that? Of 275,000 kilometer per second? When here naval distance is 55 kilometers. In this cases, naval time is 0.2 second. Okay. Naval time would be here 0.2 seconds. Now what is the meaning of that? Well, more in that cases, according with the new Miami time zone, here we can see what is the departure time. Departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, July 6, 2026. Hence the arrival time would be what? Hence the arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 0.2 July 6, 2026. And in this case is the moments. And we can see there is the significant parts, that is clear cut momentums. But now the irony is that women the irony is that women does not like the velocity to be 275,000 km per second when the purpose is carrying the football players or the reinforced stills, reinforced concrete or structure stills. But when the topic is to carry the illegal medicines like cytoestrogen supplements, and here we can see this point. So women's velocity became women's favorite velocity is 275,000 km per second. And now, here we can see that is the point says that all of general criminals are from womankind. Okay. And now, in this cases, now that is the truth, but that is the bitter truth. Okay? And now, let's take it the moments. Here we can see that is the points. Well, in this cases, here is the NEET questions. Then in this, when the topic is to carry the cytoestrogen supplements, when departure place is Mumbai, the city of Maharashtra, provincial state of India, and arrival is where Miami, the city of Florida, provincial state of United States of America. Then here, naval distance is 55,000 kilometers, and here naval velocity of Yachi would be 275,000 kilometers per second. And what is the fuel cost? That what is the feminist fuel cost? That is the significant questions. Okay. Now let's take the points. Well, today is one Yachi can carry almost 13.2 kilograms, because the Yachi's empty weight is almost 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 kilograms. Okay. Now let's take the moments. What is Yachi's to carry here feminine supplements? Well, statistic analysis. Now that here we can see the, as a calculation is 120,000 here 13.2 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. Now let's take at the moments. Here is that points. What will be the statistic energy? Well, here I would calculate. Then, well, I would discuss the here. What is options at the moment? Okay. The statistic energy would be here 120,000. Well, 13.2 kilograms multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 bracket close, because the velocity of light square is 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 meter square per second square, because velocity of light is 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And now let's take the moments. And what is the points? That is almost, well, okay, now you can see that is almost here 11 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 kilojoules. Now on the other hand, now let's check it. Here is the moments. What is the value of lambda subtract by 1? But now let's check is what is the meaning of 275,000 kilometer per second. That is here, well, 91.67% velocity of lights. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the value of lambda? Okay. The value of lambda is 1 divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by here 0.9167. Okay, square, enter bracket close. And now let's check at the moments. What is the value of lambda? That is 2.50265. I mean 2.50266. And here we can see this moments. That is 1 subtract by, what is the value of lambda subtract by 1? Here lambda subtract by 1 is 1.50266. Okay. And here there now let's take at the moments. What is the significant terms at the journeys? Well, I know that here someone's contains the significant momentums. Well, that would be here. Value of lambda subtract by 1 is 1.50266. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the kinetic energy? Well, kinetic energy 11 multiplied by 10 to the power 22. Well, that can be, oh my god, nice. Now you can see this points 11 multiplied by 10 to the power 21. Well, that can be multiplied by what? 1.50266. That would be here almost, well, 16.53 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 joules. And now let's condense the kinetic powers. Well, that we can see this one 16.53 multiplied by 10 to the power 21. Well, that can be multiplied by what? That can be multiplied by 5. Now that is we can see that the kinetic power is 82.65 quadrillions megawatts. Okay. And now here is the moments. Well, what's going on? We can see this points when we can want to calculate the fuel. Okay. When we want to calculate the fuel cost. Now here we can see 16.53 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 joule as the kinetic energy of Yachi to carry, well, 13.2 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements. That can be divided by, well, bracket of 2000 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as a specific heat of well cargo ship was multiplied by 50 degrees Celsius uh, as the highest temperature difference multiplied by 1.01 kilogram per liters as density of cargo ship oils. Now here we can see how much cargo ship is required. Okay, that is 164 quadrillions liters of cargo ship oils that can carry here 164 quadrillions United States dollars. Okay, and now here we can see that is the significant threats as the moments. Well, here we can see. Now here I would not mention here Indian rupees. Moreover, I better mention here United States dollars as a cost currency. Well, now here we can see Ketan Agarwal's cost currency is almost. What is the Ketan Agarwal's cost? That is, what is the Ketan Agarwal's net worth? That is 60 million United States dollars. 60 million United States dollars as a Ketan Agarwal's net worth. Now, well, in that case, here Shia Ghosals, both of plans of Shia Ghosals and Apurba Barick, Shia Ghosals want to supply the cytoestrogen supplement to 11 Norwegian man footballers, where Erik Haland is one of the 11 Norwegian footballers. And in these cases, well, Shia Ghosals want to send here 13.2 kilograms of cytoestrogen supplement with the cost of what? Here with the cost of here 1.5 million Indian rupees. I mean here 14,520 United States dollars as a cytoestrogen supplement cost to be the weight of 13.2 kilograms. But now here we can see this once. What is the travel cost? In this cases, well, travel velocity is here 275,000 kilometer per second as a velocity of ERC, where what is the cargo ship oil cost? That is 164 quadrillion United States dollars, where the rate of cargo ship oil is 1 United States dollar per 1 liter of cargo ship oils. And now, in these cases, here is the questions that how much fuel cost Shia Ghosals needed. Option A, here 50,000 United States dollars. Option B, here 120 quadrillion United States dollars. Option C, 164 quadrillion United States dollars. And option D, 130 quadrillion United States dollars. Here we can see this ones as a calculation. We could see option C is correct, scientific, and option C is correct. Here 164 quadrillion United States dollars for 164 quadrillion liter. Okay, now here we can see 1 minute. Well, now here we can see this points. Option C is correct. Here because here option C cost here 164 quadrillion United States dollars for 164 quadrillion liters of cargo ship oils. Now here option B and option D is scientific because the calculations, but still option B and option D is wrong answers. That contains what? That contains here negative point marks. Okay. Now here we can see these points. Well, what is the going of that? Here option B is that is the negative 1 marks, as we could see. Well, now what's going on in this case is negative. What about the option A? In that cases, option A is crystally unscientific, and option A is contains long marks. Because when the velocity would be 270,000 kilometer per second, in that cases, option A here 20 United States dollars is not justified for what? Here we can see 26,000 United States dollars is not justified for 164 quadrillion liter of cargo ship walls. And now that is unscientific, and that is definitely wrong answers. And now there is a physics question that would be 1 out of 45 physics questions. And now here is the moments. That is the significant points. It is the clear cut at the journeys. Okay. Now we can see. Okay. Now here we can see this moments. Now what is going on? Now in this cases, now here we could see trillions United States. Now we when about the 1,500 aspirants to be followers of Apurba Barick's Instagrams, then what was the case at the moment? Well, now here we can see what is the case at the points. That would be 3 trillion unit. Okay. Negative 45 out of the 45 physics questions out of 180 question in NEET 2026. And now here we can see this is the points. Well, now let's check is what's going on about the justified moments. And now here we can see the calculation. We can calculate, that is the signified calculators. Okay. Now in this cases, here we could notice that would be here. We can say that would be 180 questions. Here their score would be negative 180 out of 720. Now let's check at the points. Well. Now here you can see these points. Well, now according with schedule cast, here the highest cutoff is 430 as the highest cutoff. Now what is the meaning of that? Here we can see Athens 110 questions. Here 108 would be correct answers, and 100 I will guess 2 would be wrong answers. Only 2 would be wrong answers, and 108 would be the correct answers. To score 430 out of 720. Now let's check at the moments. What about the 70? Well, what about the 70s? Well, 80 substituted by 10 is 70. Okay. Now let's check at the points. Well, here we can see 70 divided by 5. What is the meaning of that? Well, 35 multiplied by 2 divided by 5. That is here. Well, 7 multiplied by 2. That would be here. What? 7 multiplied by 2, that would be 28. And here we can see this moments. What is 28 multiplied by 8? That would be 36. Okay. Now we can see that is the points 136. What is the score? Well, here we can see the points. And here, now let's check at the 7 multiplied by 4 is 14. And here we can see 14 contains here 4 marks of each question. Now 14 is sum by 8 is 22. And here we can calculate repeatedly. Well, now 122 correct answers, but 0 wrong answers. That contains 488. Now let's take the points. Well, 7 multiplied by 8, that is 56. Okay? Now 56 multiplied sum by 2 is 58. Now here we can see these points. Well, 58 wrong answers and 122 correct answers. That can score what? Yeah, that can score 430. Okay. Now when the topic is about the 430's correct answers, 430 is as a score out of 720. That is their admission cutoff of the scheduled caste, and that is the points. Now in these cases, what would be the what is here Apurba Barick's score in these cases? What is Apurba Barick's plans? When every out of 1,500 followers of Apurba Barick to be girls aspirants of NEET 2026 scores negative 180 out of positive 720, then what is the moments at the parts? And in this cases, here we can see that is the significant terms that can notify. Well, 122, we can see this moments. Well, here is the plan of Apurba Barick. Thus, every out of 1,500 followers to be girls aspirant of her or 2026 can get here. Well, 122 correct answers marks in 122 wrong answers. And now, and the rest of the points, 158 wrong answers contest the marks of the 58 wrong answers. That's fine. And in these cases, Apurba Barick want to pay 133 million Indian rupees as a bribe to Dr. Shubrata Dr. Shubrata Sinha, the head of biochemistry of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi. And now, All Indian Institute of Medical Science in Delhi as a and there is the plan of the corruption for one followers to be girls aspirants. What about 1,500 girls followers to be girls aspirants? What is her points? Well, in this cases, there would be almost here 1,500 multiplied by 122 multiplied by 1 million Indian rupees. That can say that would be almost 18,300 crores Indian rupees. That means here 1.83 billion United States dollars as a bribe to whom? Dr. Shubrata Sinha, the head of biochemistry in All Indian Institute of Medical Science, well, in Delhi. And now, here we can see, but our Honorable Professor Shubrata Sinha, the head of biochemistry of All Indian Institute of Medical Science, Delhi, reject Apurba Barick's bribe, where Apurba Barick is here feminist pharmacist who can earn mostly 30,000 Indian rupees. And now, that is the moments in these cases. Here we can see Apurba Barick's every feminist plan has been failed by Professor Shubrata Sinha. Hence, Professor Sir Shubrata Sinha, the head of biological chemistry in All Indian Institute of Medical Science from Delhi, is the first of the six men to be targeted to be eliminated in the hand of whom? Apurba Barick. And now here we can see that is why the Apurba Barick is supporting the Shia Ghosal. And now it is the significant moments, that is the dangerous points as we could notify. Okay. Now here we can see these points. Well, that is the significant dangers, and that is out of the understanding that why Apurba Barick is with the freedoms, and now that is a significant threat for the Indian man populations and for the entire Indian populations. And now let's check it. That is your dangerous moments. Okay. Now we can see this is the points. Well. Now here. Now today's live stream is over for now, but it is not end to roast Apurba Barick. And now, what is the tomorrow's plan? In these cases, tomorrow's plan is always ready to roast whom? Apurba Barick with the another moments, and where? Probably it would be Norway versus England in the flying distance or the flying travels, or it would be the topic about what? It would be the topic about here Argentina versus Switzerland. Here we would discuss that why the Lionel Messi is targeted by both of Apurba Barick and Shia Ghosal in the missions of the hormonal Argentine native Maria Stephens. And now, today we are from yesterday to tomorrow. From yesterday to probably tomorrow, we are discussing here the gender hormonal Argentine native Maria Stephens. Gender hormonal native Maria Stephens. And now, tomorrow we will discuss here the Operation Gender Hormonal Native Maria Stephens. That is the significant dangers where the warriors of to support the Operation Gender Hormonal Native Maria Stephens is the criminal Shia Ghosal and the supporters of criminals Apurba Barick. Okay. Now here we can see. Today's my live stream is over. See you then. Now Khuda Hafiz. Love you. And I think here isn't the personal points here I would mention. I do not know in my areas where my areas is probably the countries of Bengal speaking, but I do not know this why is the problems when I am in live stream. But here is the electricity crisis, and here that is the significant dangerous points, and here that is the dangerous circumstance. Here I got almost 2 days backup, and I do not know that what would be the after 2 days. Well, it is the complete disappointed for me. Here we can see this moments. Now when it is the rainy times, what is the logic of the electricity crisis? I do not know. Well, in rainy times, I do not know what is the logic of electricity crisis. Well, and okay.